Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to go over how to create a dashboard in Salesforce. Dashboards allow a user to visualize data based on an underlying report that's been created in Salesforce. To get started, from the sales application homepage, we'll click on the Dashboards tab. I do want to mention that you need an underlying report in order to create a dashboard component. So if you haven't watched my video on how to create a report, or if the org that you're in doesn't have a report, I recommend that you watch that video first, create the report, and then continue on with this video. I'll leave a link in the description below to that video. So from here, to create a new dashboard, we'll click on the new dashboard button. We'll just name this first dashboard and then click create. Dashboards are made up of what are called dashboard components. Each component represents a different underlying report. So to create a dashboard component, I'm going to click on this plus component button. This is where we're going to select that underlying report. I'm going to click on first report and then select. Now, this first report is an opportunities report that I renamed first report. This underlying report in particular shows the closed won and closed lost opportunities in the org. Since I'm the only user in this org, it's only going to show my closed won and closed lost opportunities. Right now, we're looking at a horizontal bar chart, but we're able to select different displays depending on what we want to visualize. So we can click this for a vertical bar chart, a horizontal stack bar chart, a vertical stack bar chart. We can also do a donut chart. This is just showing us the total record count. If we want, we can have it sliced by different things. Right now, it's just sliced by opportunity owner, but that doesn't make much sense because I'm the only user in this org. So I'm going to change this to stage. This gives a visual representation of the breakdown between the closed won and closed lost opportunities I own. One thing I wanted to point out, on exam day, you'll likely be tested on which of these component displays you should use and when to use it. For example, you'll likely come across a question on the exam where you're given a business scenario and you're asked which of these displays would be appropriate to visualize the data. A real world example that I can give you that comes to mind is if we click on this gauge display, this kind of display would be used if you want to measure yourself against a goal. For example, if you work on a sales team and that sales team has a quarterly or yearly goal to meet a certain amount of revenue or a certain amount of closed opportunities, it would be best to use this gauge display because then you can pick the measurement. In this case, it's the record count of opportunities, but this measurement can actually be total sales revenue. And then below, you can outline the different parts of this gauge. So as your team would progress towards that goal, it would move towards the end of the gauge. This is a great way for whatever team to be able to check against the goals that were determined by leadership. So I'm going to go back up and I'm going to select the vertical bar chart. Then I'm going to scroll down and change the name of this component. So instead of the title being first report, I'm going to name it closed opportunities. You could also add a subtitle, a footer. You can change the component theme to dark. This max groups displayed says 100, but since I'm the only user in this org, that's really not necessary to adjust. So I'm going to go ahead and click add to add this to our dashboard. From here, after you create a component, you can resize it to whatever height and width that you'd like. Salesforce provides these little boxes to provide you guidance when sizing. I'm just going to keep it like this. I'm going to go ahead and add one more component. We'll go back to the same underlying report, first report, and click select. And then for this one, I'm going to select the metric chart. So this is measuring the record count of total opportunities. Since the underlying report was just closed opportunities, this is just a sum of the total closed opportunities. If we scroll down, similar to the gauge, we can adjust these numbers based off of goals that are outlined by business teams or leadership. If I change this 33 to 4, you'll see it changes the color. Similarly, if I change this to 5, the number is now green. Again, I'm going to scroll down to title and I'm going to change this to total closed opportunities and then click add. And like I had mentioned previously, these little boxes allow for quick resizing. So if I want to make this component the same size as that component, I could just adjust it quickly. I'm going to go ahead and click save and then click done. Additionally, I just wanted to highlight that on some of these dashboard components, you can actually drill down into the underlying report. For example, if we clicked on this closed won bar, it'll actually bring us to the report, but the report is now filtered to only show those 3 closed won opportunities. If we click back, you can do the same thing for closed lost. We click back again. We can see the entire underlying report by clicking on this view report, first report. And on every dashboard component, if you click on the report name at the bottom left-hand corner of each dashboard component, it'll bring you to the underlying report. So I'm going to go ahead and click back. For the metric component right here, we can't click on 5, but we could still go to that underlying report. That's all I have for this video. Although this was a really simple example of a dashboard, considering that most dashboards have more than 2 dashboard components, I think that what we learned today gives you a good enough base knowledge, understanding of dashboards and dashboard components. I recommend that you play around more with dashboards, create different underlying reports, and try to create components with different display types and charts. If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you gave it a like. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe. Thank you all for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video.